The more specific that you get with words, especially around emotions, the more rich your life is going to be. So there's one thing to say, I forget the word that they use to get more specific with emotions, but you can say you're angry, or you can really fine-tune your anger. That really, I feel frustrated because I'm not heard. The more specific you can get with your words, again, the more you can engage in direct ways. So really this model, that's what we're trying to do. And please do not limit this model to a couples therapy. We're coming out at the end of the year, a team of 3 of us are coming out with the first book on EFT with families. If you think this stuff is powerful with couples, it's like steroids with families. Because you're accessing parents' unconditional love as close as we can get to it. You know, people use this all the time with individuals. People use it all the time with groups. People use it in business settings. I mean, it's just a way of being. It's a way of engaging. It's a way of helping people converse. So, you know, it's not just a couples therapy. That's just a doorway in which it's entered the field, but it's really taking off. And I don't care what people call it. It's really helping people get better at emotions and connection. If you don't like EFT, get rid of the term. Call whatever. I mean, Sue didn't invent this stuff. This is this natural process that's happening everywhere. She just put words to it. So I think a big turnoff for me in doing lots of trainings is there's so many competing fields that just don't want to talk to each other, models that don't want to engage, and I just think it does a disservice to our field. So the more that we could have ongoing conversations and learn. I'm the president of New York Center, and we have a lot of collaboration with a lot of other heads of different models there. So I do lots of trainings, co-trainings with. Last year I worked with Diana Fosher, Esther Perel, Dan Hughes, Harry Aponte. So these are all people that are very different in EFT, but they all, you know, they have their own way, their own version of seeing things. And I think it helps us get more specific with our words when we see other people describing the same phenomena in a little bit different way. So please don't feel like you have to come and drink a Kool-Aid to whatever works. Really, whatever works for you all. Any other questions, comments? Okay.
It's really touching work, you know, both the videos of the couple and the last one you showed is just so straight to the heart immediately. Yeah.
Well, we're doing silly exercises and watching videos, but before you know it, we're drawn into it.
Yeah.
Why is that? We're tapping into this universal longing that is just, no matter what our training, that is always there. So as discouraged as I might get as a therapist, I remind myself all the time that this isn't my Herculean effort that has to change this. I'm just trying to get into that. And then some beautiful things could happen. Good. Anyone else? We lose that microphone? I lose my helpers? There's one. It's for you. You got anything you want to add?
For me?
Yeah.
No. Does anybody need it?
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
So, all right. It is called emotionally focused therapy for a reason. The focus part is huge, but so is the emotion part. I think emotions get a bum rap in our society. In the culture I grew up in, I do lots of work with the military still. You know, once a month I probably go to a military base. I tend not to use the word vulnerability. My therapists love vulnerability. We're like vulnerability junkies. Yeah, you get vulnerable? That's great. And most of the world still sees that word as what? The traditional definition of vulnerability is being open to attack or weakness. Most people do not want to do vulnerability. So if they don't like the word, I say, that's great. Get rid of the word. And words, as we're starting to see, are really important. EFT's more emotions. Go back to Coco. Trying to get emotions, come alongside emotions, match emotions is really important. But so is the meaning you make out of these emotions. We're trying to do both in EFT. So if we're going to understand emotions, I'll give you an example. I was working with this Navy SEAL. And this Navy SEAL was 6'6", 240 pounds of all muscle. And his wife was like 5'90". And every time I asked this man a question, how's it going? He'd go, look at his wife, and answer the question. How's it going? Yeah, things are going pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. So you had a good weekend? Yeah, we went to the movies, we had a good time. Well, maybe we had a fight. But what is that about? What emotion is that? And this man's incredibly skilled, right? It's like ask a question, answer the question. After he did that like 5 or 6 times, I was like, I notice every time I ask you a question, you look over at your wife. Like, you're scared something's going on that, you're just checking in with. I didn't think he liked that one. Scared? Did I just say that to a Navy SEAL? Did that just come out of my mouth? So, the word was accurate. Am I going to fight this guy over the word? You know what? I know you don't like the word fear, but on a physiological level, that's exactly what it is. Well, how do you think that would have went for me? Not so good. So again, repair. I was misattuned. When I was originally a therapist, I never said I was sorry. I didn't understand attunement. Now I say I'm sorry all the time. I'm more misattuned than I am actually attuned. All I have to notice is I'm misattuned to correct it. So what I say to him, I'm having a bad therapy day. Obviously, you're not afraid of your wife. Sorry I said that. That was just off. Right? I just thought there was something you were checking in with, but I was probably just misreading it. What do you think you did with that? Oh, I did that. I guess I do check in with her. Now we start trying to explore checking in. Right? Finding a word. He wound up going to a word. I guess there's something that concerns me. Great. Find their words to capture their experience. So if we're going to work with emotions, and what is an emotion? It's nuts that we've pathologized emotion. We turn it into this dependency, weak, pathetic thing. All an emotion is a signal. It's your body saying something's happening. For better or worse, pay attention to it. It's nuts that we've learned to totally disregard these signals, like there's something wrong with this signal. And we'll get into times, and certain times where we need to turn off signals. It's totally adaptive. We wouldn't be here as a species if we didn't learn how to do it. But to chronically turn off this signal is going to create problems. I love seeing the research that says what percentage of the message is actually the word spoken. Less than 10%. We spend all this money and resources mastering words, and yet the majority of the message is everything else. The tone, the body language, prosody, you name it, that's the more relevant part of the message. So on break, I call my wife, I say, how's it going? She says, fine! What do I believe? I haven't had training in reading this stuff, yet everyone in the world perfectly gets this stuff. That is the more relevant part of the message, the emotional delivery. That's why we're running into problems with all these texting and emails, because we're taking the emotions out of the messaging, and people are not really sure what's being said and not being said. What's so cool about these emotions is they give us a compass on kind of what we need. It tells us the problem. It also tells us the solution if we listen. So if I'm angry, what do I need? To be heard. All these things could be, But usually the simplicity of anger is saying, I have something important to say. I need you to listen. Right? It wants engagement. It wants attention. Most of us will get into that. I'm not sure about this one. I've been saying it for years. That we're as capable of stopping an emotion as we are stopping ourselves from sneezing. You just can't do it. The emotion's there. You might not listen to it. You might not tune into the frequency, but the emotion is there. But my wise guy teenage son, who's always, Googling everything, told me that, Dad, you could actually stop yourself from sneezing. I was like, can you? So I don't really know. If somebody has a definitive answer on that, let me know on break. But it's still mixed results.